Hey guys, I'm here to chat with you today and share a couple of ideas, tips and tools that you can use at home in replacement of props that we might use at the studio. So I have a couple of cool ideas up my sleeve. Now, if you're practicing with us at the studio, you probably recognise these beautiful bolsters. They're good quality, they're organic cotton, they're nice and dense, so they offer a really lovely juicy support. And we use them, for various types of support. They can be really lovely to do kind of restorative poses on. They can be really lovely for heart openers where you lay yourself back on. And so it is nice to have something that is quite firm and quite dense because it will sort of tend to shape into your body. So here's a couple of things that you can do at home. You could use a really nice thick, dense cushion or pillow. You could take this one step further by choosing one of those pillows and wrapping it up in a towel. So this is one that I prepared earlier. This is a cushion. You can see it's actually a fluffy cushion. But it's not super dense, so I'd probably actually use a different one for this. But I've wrapped it up, so I'd want to wrap it up nice and tight. And then what you can do is take a second towel. Now you want something that's pretty decent in size. Could be a towel, or this is actually a specific yoga towel for hot yoga. Actually, so it's sort of like the size of a mat, a bit bigger. And you take your cushion, place it on lengthways. It's already wrapped up, semi-wrapped up in your first towel. And then what I would do is actually bend up the two ends, just so that they're covering the end of the towel, so they're already starting to kind of nestle in there. And then you start to wrap lengthways and get it really, really nice and tight. So you're going to use a bit of sort of muscular strength here to keep it nice and tight. And I've just grabbed a couple of rubber bands. Now these here I find come with all sorts of fruit and veggies, so I always keep them handy. I always keep them aside. So you could really just use a bit of your strength to really round and what's the word? You're kind of just really making sure it's nice and tightly rolled. So you're rolling the towel over the cushion, and then you're just like a little present, like a Christmas cracker. You can use that rubber band to wrap around the end to keep it nice and secure and in place. There's one end and two. Ta-da. It really does look like a little Christmas cracker, doesn't it? It's a little bit daggy, but hey, it actually kind of does the trick. Like I said, I probably really wanted to use one that's really nice and firm, but this here is still a lovely little support for. I'm doing here my heart openers. I need that little bit of extra juice, extra height. There's your bolster. Another option here, guys, we often use blocks. So I have a range of different blocks at the studio, and blocks are actually quite easily found in shops such as Kmart and Rebel Sport, and of course all the yoga shops like Stretch Now. I hear that there's a few of these kind of things that are actually tricky to get, though they're out of stock in a lot of places at the moment. So you might like to use a substitute such as books. So if you're using books, you probably want to get some that are of similar thickness to each other. And what can be helpful is, again, using one of those rubber bands around it just to stop the pages from flaring out. So substitute for blocks can be books. Another thing we often use is our straps at the studio. So for that, if you've been doing any of our fitness classes, or you have a bit of fitness equipment at home, you might have a resistance band. So this can be a great substitute. The resistance, though, depending on how strong it is, you might use sort of a single loop, or you might use a double loop. So you might be doing things such as extending your leg out and using the support of the strap to draw you closer. And yeah, you may change up whether you use a double or a single length of it. You can also use any kind of scarf that can do the trick quite beautifully. You could use a tie. I can't say that I've got any ties. Another great option is the tie of your dressing gown. So that I have, and that might do the trick as well. And with straps, we use them to create a bit more length in the limbs, and it can help us to anchor and draw body parts closer to each other and lengthen and intensify stretches. And then the other thing that I really love to use is a chair. So I'm sure most of us can find a chair available at home to use. And you can use different heights of the chair. So it can be used for things such as a downward dog variation, really lengthening in through the lats and the thoracic spine, back of the legs. You could be using the different heights for things like balance. It can be really good for balancing poses such as a warrior 3 variation, or all of your standing poses such as your crescent lunges or your warriors. They could be helped with having that support of a chair. So guys, I hope that gives you a couple of ideas to play with if you are practicing with us doing yoga online. Maybe explore some of these ideas, and if you have any more to add, I would love to hear with them and love to share with our members. Have a great day, guys.